Hi everyone and welcome to this course on HTML5. I'm so happy to have you here. Let's dive in. Alright, so before we dive deeper into the topic of HTML and everything that's related to HTML, you just have to keep in mind the following. The main purpose of HTML5 is to create the structure or the framework of a website. Whereas the main purpose of CSS is to improve the layout and design of a website by using HTML tags. Alright, so HTML is like your bones, basically. It's like your bones. And CSS is like your skin. They are both required to make a perfect body of website. That's a good illustration for you to keep in mind. Alright, so what do we actually mean by HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. HTML5 is the latest version of HTML and is considered to be more effective. The small difference between the latest and the previous versions of HTML is the introduction of new and different tags. So whenever there is an update, there are new tags that are introduced. We will have some new HTML tags. Okay, so we said previously that HTML is like the bones, blood, and veins and structure of creating a website, while CSS is like the hair, skin, and nails of it. Okay, let's now see the key features of HTML5. So first, HTML is relatively easy to learn and modify. Second, you can add different links and references in HTML5. Third, you can display various documents on different operating systems like Mac, Windows, and Linux, and so on. Fourth, you can also add different audios, videos, and graphics by coding in HTML5 and make your website entertaining to users. Fifth, to make it simple, HTML documents are case insensitive, except for the attribute values, which you will see later, but the accepted standard for HTML is to use lowercase letters because they are easier to write and read. So to sum it up, you can keep in mind that HTML is case insensitive except for a few exceptions. Alright, so now that we saw the features of HTML5, let's talk about some of the benefits behind HTML5. First, HTML5 is the language that will help us design and code a website from scratch, like from absolute scratch. Second, HTML5 makes it easier for developers to create terrific websites. Third, users can easily experience those sites regardless of the browser or platform they are using. Fourth, other markup languages such as XML, SGSL are used for developing applications, but HTML5 is the reference when it comes to building websites and is a widely used programming language for website development. So, HTML5 is the reference when it comes to websites, and that's why we're learning it today. So, where and how is HTML5 used in real life? Let's see some concrete examples and try to better understand the use and power of HTML5. So, here is a screenshot of a random website. On the right side, you can clearly see the coding that brought this page to life. This coding consists of HTML tags. Now, if you want to see the coding of any website on the internet, you first need to go to your browser and search for a random website. Let me do this now. Alright, so here you go. I'm now on a website called Finflow. Once the website has completed loading, press F12 on your keyboard. Alternatively, you can simply right click and then click on inspect. Alright, so once you successfully click on F12, you will see this sidebar as well as the various tags that are used in designing and developing the website. Alright, so we start to explore the power of HTML5. Let's now see what are the editors that should be used when coding with HTML. So, the editors that I recommend are: first, a simple editor like Notepad. This editor is already installed on your device or operating system. Second, Atom. This is also an excellent editor. Third, Sublime Text Editor. It's much better than Atom, but it's still not the one I prefer and strongly recommend. The most premium quality and highly recommended editor that I urge you to install and use is Visual Studio Code. It's one of the most powerful pieces of software out there and by far the most useful. So, Visual Studio Code is the editor that I personally recommend and that I will be using during this course. Okay, so as I said previously, Visual Studio Code is one of the most premium and one of the most powerful editors out there. Let's see how we can install it. First, you have to click on this link. You'll be taken to the Visual Studio Code website, and there you will have an option to download it. Then you click on the download button, and this is how you can download your file. Of course, if you're not using Windows, you'll have the option to download it for the Mac and Linux operating systems as well. So, open your browser and paste this URL. You will see a Visual Studio Coding website and an option to download it. So, just click on it. After clicking on the download button, there will be like 3 options in front of you. Here, you have to click on the operating system that you are using, like Mac, Linux, Windows, etc. You can click on others if you're not using a similar operating system. Okay, so once you click on the download button, you will see an option where you can save your file. And as you can see, the file has now been saved and has started downloading. Okay, like for me, I already have this software installed, so I'll just pause the download for myself, but you can continue downloading it if you don't have Visual Studio Code installed already. So once your software is downloaded, you'll have to open your folder, and here you see some options on your screen. You'll have to select I accept the agreement, then click on create a desktop icon, click next, click on install, and here you go, your software will start installing. Okay, so I wait a little bit for the installation to be completed, then I get an error, which was expected because, as I said, I already have this software installed on my machine.